What's going on, guys? Bengal here, rebuilding the Pittsburgh Steelers. Apparently, there is a glitch right now, I don't know if visual or otherwise, where guys like Cam Hayward, good as he might be, is a 99 overall. Derek Brown is a 99, but apparently it is just visual. We'll see how true that is. I am actually recording this live on twitch.tv/Bengal, and the link is in the description as always, twitch.tv/Bengal. We're going to be using Mike Tomlin here. The problem is, with using Mike Tomlin, how do we go better than 9-8? That's going to be the real challenge here. Can we actually make a playoff run? Can we get back to the Super Bowl? Or is this team destined to stay at just 6 rings of steel forever? I say just, that's like a pretty incredible amount. But not many of them are recent. It's still showing Cam Hayward as a 99. I don't know if the nose tackle archetype is broken, because obviously his attributes don't necessarily look 99 overall worthy. They're quite good, but maybe it's just the nose tackle archetype is broken, because that would describe, you know, Dexter Lawrence and Derek Brown, potentially. So, maybe that's it. Caleb Johnson. This is not what Caleb Johnson looks like. Oh, boy. But I do want Caleb Johnson to be the starter. He is a running back I liked quite a bit coming out of the draft. Yeah, maybe not the fastest, but quick feet. Very, very good balance. I think he's going to be a really nice option for the Steelers. And I'm curious to see what his usage looks like in year one now that Najee Harris is gone. Jaylen Warren, I think, is a good player, but he's really more of a running back by committee type of guy. But the main story of this Steelers team is Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. He's 41 years old. He is not the player he used to be. However, I think he played better than a lot of people think last year and really was in a poor situation with the Jets. Had a lot of drops at receiver. Will that get better with Pittsburgh? Oh, I doubt it. But individually, I don't think he's as bad as a lot of people think. That being said, he's a 41-year-old quarterback. He's not going to be our long-term answer. And it's not going to be Mason Rudolph. It's not going to be Skylar Thompson. It's not going to be Will Howard here. But we do bring in Jonnu Smith. Of course, have Pat Freiermuth in here already. The O-line isn't bad, but I'd love to actually be able to develop Broderick Jones. Otherwise, we're going to have to kick Darnell Washington out to tackle. He's got the size for it. Darnell Washington is huge. Will we actually be able to develop him as a tight end? I don't know. He's a good athlete. We'll see if the actual abilities can progress as we go along. DK Metcalf is a new Steeler, but outside of that, the receiver room is not great. We're still letting Russ cook. That's Russell Wilson at wide receiver 4. Now, Roman Wilson's got good speed, but he's got to develop pretty much everywhere else. Derek Harmon was the Steelers' first-round draft pick. I like Keanu Benton a lot. The cornerback room looks completely different than it did just a couple of years ago with Darius Slay. Jalen Ramsey in a Minkah Fitzpatrick trade is crazy. Alex Highsmith is a beast. We know about TJ Watt. And then, of course, Hook'em Horns, Deshaun Elliott in the secondary. Chuck Clark is ugh. And Juan Thornhill is here as well. But we've got a lot of work to do. I like Joey Porter Jr. The defense, for the most part, does look pretty good. But the offense has a long way to go. And we're going to have needs on this defense as players get older. Cam Hayward may be a lifetime Steeler, right? But if we're not super competitive, Cam Hayward's got to go. He's 36 years old. And in the game right now, he's a 99 overall player. If I don't maximize his value, I'm an idiot. I need to make something happen to get some value back for Cam Hayward, because he's not going to be a part of this team when we finally get that 7th Super Bowl ring. I think the only one that makes sense to do in the quarterback room is Will Howard, because he may have a chance to develop a little bit, and maybe I can end up trading him or something. But I'm telling you, he's not going to end up being the starter for me, really, at any point. Maybe I should have used Aaron Rodgers in this to have a slightly higher overall quarterback, but a +1 overall is not really going to make a big difference. And Rodgers is just so old to the point where he's not going to be able to develop even a little bit, even 1 iota. So it just doesn't really make any sense. Will Howard has not a great chance either, to be honest, but better than Aaron Rodgers just because he's 23 and not 43. Aaron Rodgers basically is. I mean, it's insane at this point. You know, thinking back years ago that a 41-year-old would be playing quarterback. And now, like, it's weird, but it doesn't even seem that crazy because Tom Brady played till he was, like, what, close to 45. And, I mean, Brett Favre played forever as well, going back a little bit. But it seems like every quarterback is just playing until their body falls apart. But, Aaron Rodgers, does he have something left in the tank, or will this be another disaster? I think probably the latter. I really think we're going to be able to develop Caleb Johnson. If you saw my Browns rebuild... Okay, Caleb Johnson's a tank! If you saw my Browns rebuild, you saw what happened with our big-time running back over there, Dylan Sampson. And he was able to get really, really good. Spoiler alert. But if you're watching this, maybe you're not a big fan of the other AFC North teams, so maybe you missed that one. But Dylan Sampson got really, really good for us, and he wasn't, you know, a super high-rated player or anything. I think Caleb Johnson's got a pretty good chance. I'm going to start him over Jaylen Warren, and he's going to be our power back where Warren's the third down guy. They're both going to play a pretty considerable amount. Caleb Johnson should be able to get quite a bit of upgrades over the next few years. As I say in pretty much every rebuild at this point, you need your running backs to be rated somewhere close to a 90 overall for them to perform in Sim. Otherwise, they're just going to be pretty bad. So it's going to take a bit of time, but I think we could get Caleb Johnson into that 90 range, maybe somewhere around year 4. Big upgrade for Broderick Jones. Dev trait increase to star. That is very nice. That definitely gives him a real chance at being a long-term starter for us. And that is my first dev trait upgrade of any rebuild that I've done in Madden 26. Peyton Wilson also could be worth developing. The only problem is he's a bit of an older rookie. Or, well, when he was a rookie, right? So, he is just old, and it's going to be tough to develop him when we really have like 3 years to do it. Herbig is also a stud, kind of designated pass rusher. Like, this team's got a ton of talent. I like Logan Lee as a rotational interior defensive lineman. He was a prospect I liked a little bit. But I think for rebuild purposes, we need to focus on developing guys that can be actual long-term starters for us. And I think Harmon's going to do fine enough. I think Keanu Benton's who we're going to choose. Because with Benton and Harmon, we have at least 2 interior defensive line spots locked up for really the entire rebuild, in my opinion. They both should be just fantastic. Cam Hayward, obviously, is going to need to be traded. And I know that sucks, but I've got to try to maximize... This is not going well. I've got to try and maximize what I can get. And as great as Cam Hayward is, it would just be a lot better to get, you know, the most value we can out of him and then try to use Cam Hayward to win us a Super Bowl long term. He's going to have value. It's going to be like, I can't believe you're trading Cam Hayward, but he's 36 years old and he's not going to be part of our Super Bowl team. It's just, he's somebody that needs to go. Now, I'm not going to trade him now. I'll probably wait until the deadline and then make a move because we'll see how good we are. But my current plan is to move on, and I think that's the right call, even if it seems harsh. And in order to get Cam Hayward upset and want to get traded, I'm going to cut his brother. Later, Connor. This will be the team that we start with. I like Mason McCormick. I think his brother watches my channel or something interesting. Is that even interesting? I don't know. But this team will look drastically different at the trade deadline. Nobody will want Aaron Rodgers, but I will try and trade him, I imagine. I'm kind of expecting this team's going to be bad, but we're probably not going to be bad. But I'm still probably going to trade Cam Hayward anyway. I probably should trade Big Play Slay. I probably should. Cole Holcomb can probably go. I don't need to carry this many tight ends. Jonnu Smith probably gets traded. But we're going to hire and assign scouts. And I think this defense is going to end up simulating quite well. We could consider a tackle at the top of the board. This class already seems to have quite a few quarterbacks, which works for me because we really, really need quarterback. And it is a strength of the class. Hopefully there's a really good one in there that can be our franchise savior. Steelers really have not been able to find that guy after Big Ben. We are 5-1 at the midseason mark, which is my fear because our defense is incredible. We're allowing 11 points per game on average. The offense isn't great, but the defense is absolutely crushing it. And it's like, how do I trade Cam Hayward now? Like this. No, I don't know. It puts us in a bit of a weird spot because he's probably going to retire after this year. Do we try and win a Super Bowl, or do we trade him for value to make the team better long term? It really is a tough call. Like, can I trade Darius Slay? I don't know how I can do it because we're playing so well. It puts me in a tremendously tough spot. We'll do national focus scouting. Of course, it's going to be receiver here. Even though I will probably end up with a quarterback in this class. If we're going to be good long term, we need to improve at QB. And we got one out of Wyoming. Josh Allen. Hawaii. Colt Brennan. RIP to the legend. We need to figure out about these QBs. A lot of guys that could supposedly go in round 1. But I don't know how many that are actually even good. Like, Emmanuel Reeves doesn't look good. He does have A awareness, but he doesn't look good. I don't know. This is a tough call. Because we're not going to be paying a quarterback, we are going to have money. So Jaylen Warren, I think, on a 2-year extension does make sense, and he's back. Nice little combo with Caleb Johnson. Cole Holcomb for a year I could do, and he's back. I think the decision has been made. I'm not going to trade because we're too good right now. If we can win a Super Bowl, I'm not going to actively make the team worse. The defense is playing out of their mind. Or collective mind, out of their minds. I just can't trade anything. And it's not like our offense and Aaron Rodgers have played well, but they're playing well enough when the defense has been as dominant as they seem to be. 88 overall. I can't make any trades. We're going to hold on to everybody, and it may make the rebuild a little bit more challenging down the line, but I got to try to win that Super Bowl. How many times are you going to have an opportunity like this? I've got to hold on. 2 Wyoming quarterbacks supposed to go in the first round. Mark Fitzsimmons and Patrick Young. They need some type of logic to not have 2 quarterbacks from the same school in the same draft class in the same round. Like, it's not, like, impossible for 2 quarterbacks from the same school to be drafted in the same class. Not impossible. Unlikely, sure, but not impossible. But in the first round, both of them, what is there? They're running a 2 quarterback scheme in college? There's no way. And Wyoming as well? There's no way. Generational collapse from this team. 10-7. Oh my goodness. Well, the second half of the year did not go well. Loss. Win against the Browns. Loss. But we are a playoff team. So you just got to take that. Aaron Rodgers, 3,800 yards passing, 24 touchdowns to 11 picks. Caleb Johnson was at 1,100 yards, averaging fewer than 4 yards per carry. What a rookie season. 17 touchdowns, though, is crazy. Caleb Johnson needs to get a ton of XP for that because 17 touchdowns in a season is insane. Progression history. Pro Bowl appearance, plus 4,000 XP. 1,000 rushing yards, plus 13,000 XP. Broke season record for rushing touchdowns. Like, for a rookie. Or the Steeler, maybe. 5,200 XP. Well, Caleb Johnson is now absolutely insane. He's probably going to end up with superstar depth. He's an 86 overall as a rookie. And this is kind of what happened to Jackson Dart in my Giants rebuild. The players can accumulate crazy stats and just get a ton of upgrades, which is how it should be, in my opinion. So that's kind of cool. DK Metcalf with 1,111 receiving yards. Robert Woods was actually fairly productive as well, as was Calvin Austin, as was Pat Freiermuth. Kind of a lot of yards, to be honest. 7 touchdowns for Austin would lead the way. And then defensively, these guys were great. How great were they? Well, we had 3 players with double-digit sacks. Alex Highsmith led the way with tackles for loss, but TJ Watt put up 20.5 sacks. Highsmith and Hayward both at 11.5, and we had a lot of players getting 3 interceptions. Patrick Queen, Jalen Ramsey, Joey Porter Jr., Peyton Wilson even had 2. Our defense is amazing. Our offense has really good potential for the future. Let's see if we've got any chance here. We're going to jump into the wild card. Steelers, Broncos, going on the road. The Broncos won 13 games this year. Could be a tough team to beat. Third down alert. We're going to jump in here. Playing the moments. Can we get a big first win? DK Metcalf isolated on that left side, and he's not against Patrick Surtain. Rodgers is sacked. It's Zach Allen, stud defensive lineman for the Denver Broncos, and we are forced to try a field goal. Should be able to drill this with one of the best kickers in the NFL, Chris Boswell. Really, honestly, trending towards being one of the best kickers of all time. Chris Boswell is so good, so consistent, and our defense needs help. Bo Nix driving down the field. 3rd and 1. J.K. Dobbins, the running back. We're going to run commit. And it is a run. We didn't fill the lane well. Deshaun Elliott saves a touchdown. But it may only save us from allowing a touchdown for another moment or two. We were definitely in position to make a tackle there, and we got out of position, unfortunately. Played it better that time. If we can just hold the Broncos to 3, I'm going to feel pretty good about it, but there's a lot of game left. So, touchdown here is not the end of the world. Just need to shoot gaps, make plays. Toss right. Nope. And the change of direction. That's tough to account for. See if our offense can make something happen. 2nd and 2. Robert Woods touchdown. Actually, Jalen Warren's probably not going to be covered here. Oh my God, he's not covered. I tried to get that out so quickly, but we couldn't make it happen. 3rd and 2. DK Metcalf. Touchdown, DK. DeKalin Zacharias Metcalf. Doing a headstand. All right. We'll take that. We're on the board with our first touchdown. 10-7. Make a play, defense. Patrick Queen with a pick. And they're going to throw to the tight end. Broncos have really been looking for a big upgrade at tight end for a while now. They're using Evan Ingram as a receiver. We'll see what his season looks like in real life. Interested to find out as Courtland Sutton takes this inside the 5. This offense is proving to be difficult to stop. I think they're probably going to end up with a touchdown here. If we're going to run man coverage at the goal line, we might as well blitz. Touchdown, Broncos. We might have a slugfest here. Mile-high slugfest at Empower Field. It's wide open. Rodgers hits Jalen Warren. Nice gain for Warren as Rodgers hits the century mark. 100 yards passing. Let's go. Touchdown to end the half. We retake the lead. Easy as that. See what Calvin Austin can do. We have one-on-one. Do we have the speed? Rodgers drops it in the bucket. Calvin Austin, touchdown. Rodgers is slinging right now. Beautifully placed balls on back-to-back touchdown throws. Calvin Austin breaks the tackle. Had Zach Allen right in his face. You really can't throw the ball any better than that. Riley Moss never even found the football. And you know what? I saw him, and I said, that's the weak link. That's who we're throwing the ball at for no particular reason. Chris Boswell, wide left. I don't even know if that had the distance. It was from 60 plus. Maybe put a little bit too much power on it, but I don't know if we would have had it regardless. Into the third quarter. Fullback dive. Patrick Queen and Cam Hayward keep him out of the end zone. Second and goal. Still man coverage. We're going to pinch that D-line. Center's in hell. Change of direction. Nowhere to go. J.K. Dobbins to the 2-yard line. Can we get the goal line stand? Okay, we know it's going to be a pass, but is it? We got to be aware of a quarterback blast. Any quarterback run, J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. And it's 28-17 Denver. Things are getting out of hand here. We need to make a play. There's DK Metcalf. Good timing there. Rodgers got picked off, and it resulted in Denver points. We really even yet to run the ball here. There's Metcalf. Okay, DK's kind of dominating right now. We just got to throw the ball to DK. Recipe for success. What about Caleb Johnson, though? Had 17 rushing touchdowns this season. How about number 18 here in the playoffs? 2nd and 5 draw. Nowhere to go for Caleb Johnson. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. Down 28-17. There's still time to make a comeback here. We can't let a bad Aaron Rodgers interception keep us from moving on in the playoffs. 3rd and 8. Don't want to settle for 3, but we'd have to if we don't convert this. Metcalf with the catch. First down, Pittsburgh. They will never expect Aaron Rodgers' quarterback draw here. Okay, they're actually not covering Robert Woods. Woods or Metcalf should be wide open. That is Texas rookie cornerback and superstar Jahdae Barron on the coverage, I guess. Quick throw! Can't get it to Calvin Austin. They're choosing not to cover the slot receiver, and they're still getting stops. Looking outside to Robert Woods again from the slot. It's a good matchup. It's good timing. It's a touchdown. Let's go, Pittsburgh. We're going to go for 2 to make it a field goal game. Hopefully. Maybe we did and we didn't get it. All right. Cool. And it's so tough to live in these conditions. Look where they are every single time they touch the football, man. They work the ball all the way down inside our own 10-yard line. We've had our backs up against the goal line the entire game. It's play action. Got to make that tackle, Juan. Thornhill gets assistance. You know who I'd like to make a play here? How about supposedly the best defensive end in the league, or edge rusher? If TJ Watt can't beat Mike McGlinchey, we've got a problem. Touchdown, Broncos. Game is getting to be on the line here. My receivers got bumped. Should have been wide open. 4th and 1. We're going to run the football. Caleb Johnson just gets enough. Oh my goodness. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Let's get a touchdown here. Wide open. Rodgers hits him. Diving Robert Woods. Touchdown. Not dead yet. Robert Woods making my tree grow. Need a stop here. Down 5. We need something. Inside 2 minutes. It's a screen. Shed the block. Make a play. Gotta call a timeout. I mean, this is not good. 2nd and 2. I'm going to run commit. Gotta make a play. Okay. There we go. J.K. Dobbins dropped for a loss. If you're Denver here, I think surely you run. But, I mean, they're showing like they're going to pass the football. Bo Nix under pressure. It's Alex Highsmith who gets the job done. TJ Watt has been shut down the entire game. But the best pass rusher on this team has come up clutch. Alex Highsmith with the sack. And we have a minute and a half to score a touchdown to win the game. A minute and a half. Everything on the line. Wild card round of the playoffs. Quick throw out to Austin. Austin ducks out of bounds. We have no timeouts. We've got to be really careful here with going over the middle of the field. Shouldn't be a huge problem if we run hurry up. So we'll just take that, go down immediately, conserve the clock. How about a screen? You think Denver is ready for that? I don't think so. There it is. You got one man to pick up, and you can't do it? It was a 3-on-1. Here's 3rd and 8. Absolutely huge play. Intercepted. Picked off by Longhorn legend Brandon Jones. I don't know what that noise was. That is a tough time for a pick. I'll tell you what was going on here. Well, I'm still pissed about this lip screen. I looked at DK Metcalf. I go, he's double covered. They're going to take him. So I switched over to Calvin Austin. Believe it or not, I don't have Steve Buscemi eyes that can look to 2 different places at once. I looked at DK Metcalf. I saw double coverage. I got off of him. Pause. I got over to Calvin Austin. I said, oh, he's going to get open here. But Brandon Jones just didn't run with Metcalf. I looked away, so I didn't see it. I thought we were throwing Calvin Austin open. And Brandon Jones was just waiting right there. They had us completely locked up. And that's going to do it. We are out in the wild card. So much for our Super Bowl run. Ravens win the Super Bowl. 27-9 over the Detroit Lions. Joe Burrow wins MVP because he does every year. Abdul Carter with Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hell yeah. Cam Ward, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Derrick Henry with the Super Bowl MVP. Our defense has got significantly worse. Cam Hayward, I imagine, has retired. Isaac Seumalo retires as well. Darius Slay retires. Cam Hayward's still here, though. But we lose a starting corner, a great special teamer and captain, and a starting left guard, Isaac Seumalo. Okay. This is interesting because Rodgers is down to a 70. How did Caleb Johnson not get up to superstar dev? He had 17 rushing touchdowns. He's been robbed. That's crazy. That's crazy. Andrews Pete could start at left guard. I don't like that idea that much. And then defensively, Cam Hayward's still here. Thought he would be after he didn't see him in the retirement screen. He's got to go. He's 37. Great career. But that's somebody who's getting moved this offseason. I said I was going to, and then I didn't. Now I'm definitely going to. We've been offered a new chance at life. Second chance. And we're going to use that opportunity to have some love shine down on Cam Hayward and send him somewhere where he can win a Super Bowl. But it's not here in Pittsburgh right now. Maybe it is, but it's not with him. We're going to not pick up the fifth-year option on Broderick Jones and end up paying him probably. We will need a punter if we don't want to bring back Corliss Waitman. Aaron Rodgers is gone. It's got to happen. I don't really want Juan Thornhill back, but I don't know who's going to start at safety if we don't at least have Thornhill as an option. So for 1 year, we're going to bring Juan Thornhill back, but actively look for his replacement. I don't want Chuck Clark. And usually in year one, I feel like the talent in free agency is not really that good. But we should have some decent money. And, I mean, who would I possibly bring in out of this bunch? Nobody here is really appealing at all. I mean, this is just a brutal group of players. I do kind of like going after Kaiir Elam. Just because he's got star dev and he's 25 years old. The reason why I kind of feel weird about it is because, and no disrespect, but the guy can't play. Sucks in real life. Maybe he finds it with a change of scenery. But he should not have star dev. That's the most normal development player probably of all time. He's been just horrendous. But we may be able to develop him and have good depth. Bojorquez and Elam both sign. So we do add some depth and a new starter at punter over Corliss Waitman. And we'll see what scouting has in store for us and if we can actually upgrade this team through the draft. If this is not the actual NFL draft, I don't know what is. 2 players with 4.24 40s. One is a day 3 talent. One is a top 5 guy. Cam Holt from Virginia Tech is one of the best 5 players in the entire draft at a position of need. Is it kind of redundant with DK Metcalf because this guy can't run a short route but he's great down the field? Can fly, but a little bit short. But not a bad idea. However, the quarterback Patrick Young is a round 1 talent. If we want him, we're going to have to trade up, and I don't know how that's going to be possible. Here's where we are. Patrick Young, I like a lot. He's a round 1 QB with elite throw power. He's supposed to go at number 1 overall. I like Keshawn Sims a lot. I know he's a speed rusher, but he's 6'3", 265. I think it's a decent fit for my 3-4 at defensive end. I can rationalize that. He is a freakishly elite prospect. Ran a 4.5 flat at 265 with elite jumping, great acceleration. He's supposed to go at number 2. So, all of the good players, you're going to be shocked by this, are expected to be off the board pretty early. There are some corners I like. They're supposed to be off the board pretty early. All round 1 talents at corner, but they're going to be like off the board 10, 11, 12. We don't pick till 21. That's classic Steeler range, to be honest. So if we're going to find talent, it's by either trading up or maybe more likely trading back. Are the Ravens really going to take Shaq Lewis here? I thought this was a really good find for me. He's a true round 1 talent with round 2 to 3 projection. Do the Ravens know he's good? This is complicated things. I felt pretty strong about the players we looked at here. Stewart's a round 1 guy. Sims, top 5 guy. Shaq Lewis is a round 1 guy. There is good talent down the board. Cam Hayward maybe will be able to let us trade up a little bit, but there's no way I can move up with the Browns, a division rival, for a franchise quarterback. It's just not possible. Browns at number 1. Go with Patrick Young. Maybe their franchise quarterback. It's just not going to trade up with the Browns there. I know we need QB. Just didn't really see a spot where that could happen. Now, the Bears do need defensive tackle. The problem is they do not have the money to take on this Cam Hayward contract at all. And I mean, I can't really help them get out of it. I mean, if I could get Jonah Jackson a first and miss there, fella, that'd be a good trade for me. But that's actually not even close at all, which is probably fair. I just don't think it's going to happen with Chicago. Really awesome looking defensive tackle prospect. I should just make that happen right now. I just don't want to trade for Marvin Harrison Jr. because he just got drafted. And, you know, even though these are not realistic rebuilds, I do try to make them a little bit less crazy than just trading for Marvin Harrison Jr. in year 2. That's going to be unpopular with the chat, but it's the right move. This will be the trade. Cam Hayward, a 5th and a 5th next year for the Saints' first-round pick next year. Couldn't move up to number 4. I think Cam Hayward has to go. I can't move up all the way. So I'll just take the first-round pick next year and hope the Saints are pretty bad. I think that's the right call. I know you could have got Marvin Harrison Jr. I know. Just don't really like that trade as much for this rebuild. And the question I'm really only considering now is, would I want to move up for one of the corners when that's a need post Darius Slay? Or do I just stay put and potentially take a top 5 talent receiver? I think that's probably a better idea. So far, I think the draft has gone exactly as we've expected. And we are on the clock at 21. I think I would still like a slight trade back. Clay Folk we took a look at. He looked okay. But I don't know if he's the pick here at 21. There are some good round 1 talents available, including the receiver, who I don't expect to be a first-round pick. I'm really interested to see if the Ravens would actually take Shaq Lewis at 32. He looks really, really good. And I think linebacker is going to be a position of need for us long term. How do you feel about that? Doesn't want anything to do with this rebuild. I think I will probably try and trade this pick away. I think trading down is going to make the most sense for us here. And there are teams that are offering a pretty significant amount of value. I think trading down, even with a team like the Ravens, could make sense. Something like that. So we'll look to see what we can do. And I just don't really feel like picking here. I don't think the value is with this pick. Okay, this is a very weird trade, but it's going to be Jonnu Smith, Yaya Black, a 3rd and a 4th this year, a 4th next year for number 39 from the Jets. I know that's still not trading down from 21. I'm trying to get as much value back for this pick as I possibly can. I'd love to get a first-round pick this year and next year. I don't think that's possible, but you know, the Giants are at the end of the first round. Maybe a first this year and a 2nd next year, and the Giants would entertain that. So we can absolutely do something here. I would trade a future 3 to make that happen, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So we get the Giants first this year, a 2nd next year. We trade a 2028 3. We move back from 29 or from 21 to 29. And we'll see what the board looks like now. I'm still a little bit worried about the Ravens taking the linebacker I want. I'm tempted to call their bluff, but I also want Cam Holt, who's a top 5 talent at a position we need. So it's really tough to... And I want Clayton Talley as well. So we're in a spot where I probably can't get all of the players I want unless I continue to trade down. I'm just going to make the pick. I think the receiver is the most important for us. He's probably not going to go in the first round unless we take him, but we're at 29. He has elite agility, acceleration, speed. Ran in the low 4.2s. Is a great downfield vertical threat. Torrey Holt's son, potentially. He is ranked as the number 5 player in the draft. We took him at 29. I like that he's got good hands. He's got 99 speed. That's pretty good. 95 acceleration, 94 agility. Hidden dev. All right. Not a polished route runner just yet, but 99 speed's pretty good. And I'm very curious about where the Ravens go with their selection. Will it be the linebacker I want? It will be. Shaq Lewis is off the board, which we knew was a real possibility, but we decided ultimately to take the receiver over the linebacker. There are still players on the board I like a lot. Even this tight end looks kind of insane, but we don't need a tight end. We have Darnell Washington. We have Freiermuth, obviously. But there are still players on the board that I like a lot. Now, they may not be as good. We have Wes Fisher, who skipped the combine there. But there is a safety I liked quite a bit. Is he off the board now? It looks like he might have been taken. Clayton Talley went to the Bears at 34. We just didn't have the picks to get everybody that I wanted. There's still value in this draft. Could double dip at receiver. But I'll tell you what I can probably do with this pick is turn it into a first next year. And I'm going to try to make that happen. It's going to be Juan Thornhill and this pick at the top of the second round for the Bucs' first round pick next year. I will probably pick at 53. Again, there are still some pretty good players in this class. I mean, some of the really good tight ends are still available. Do I just take the shot here at Wes Fisher? That might be the move. He's got A tackling. He's just not a good athlete. But this is a classic stealer. And then there's some decent undrafted free agent looking players, but we don't necessarily need to take them here. Day 3 slot. That's a true round 1 to 2 talent. It seems a bit early for Wes Fisher based on the athletic profile. But he really isn't bad. I'm not overwhelmed with this draft class, and that's why I've kept trading back. I kind of want to do it again, obviously, but I'll draft Wes Fisher. He's not the best athlete. He skipped the combine because he's not a good athlete. Wes Fisher will be the pick. He's ranked at number 67. We took him at 53. He's got normal dev. That was one of those where I knew not to take him, and I just did anyway. And we'll see if we can get good value on day 3. We know we need guard. We have a couple that look okay down the board here. Probably going to take both of them. This is first, Brock Jansen. And Roger Goodell is coming back out on day 3 to announce a UDFA guard. He's got to be pretty good. He's the number 40 ranked player in the class, former high school power forward. He does have hidden dev, 92 strength. We may have found a gem. Top 40 player, we got him at 181. Not a bad pickup there. And hopefully the other guy's available as well. Even though we kind of filled that position, he's not there. Is there any value here? I mean, I'll tell you where we can probably have the best chance is with a nose tackle archetype at D tackle, but I'm not really seeing anyone that looks amazing. We'll see if I can find anything. He's not great, but he's not absolutely awful. And he's a Longhorn legend. Hook 'em. Sergio Birmingham is ranked at number 155. We got him at 213. He's strong. He is a great Cam Hayward replacement. How do you even do better than that? Draft recap. How'd we do? Cam Holt is a 78. Yeah, the draft class just wasn't all that good. Wes Fisher's a 72. 75 for Brock Jansen is great value. He's going to be a starter for us in year one. And there were a couple of high-rated players. Terrell Cohen was an 80 at right tackle. D. Pemberton, the Browns got an 80 overall fullback. Kashawn Sims looks great. 79 overall. But this was not an incredibly juiced draft class. Kashawn Sims does look insane. Block shed's low, but overall does look insane. There just weren't that many insane players in this class to begin with. I feel like we did pretty well with what we were able to actually bring in. You like some solid corners. Shaq Lewis was a 77 overall. Like, that's obviously quite good, but this class mostly was just okay. Patrick Young was a 76 overall. That's good. It's not insane. Like, if I traded 3 first-round picks to move up with the Browns for this quarterback with normal dev, I can only imagine what the chat and the comments section would be saying. So, I think it's good that we played things a little bit more conservatively, took picks, and we'll just prepare for the future. I mean, it didn't make sense to go all in for that class, and it didn't make sense to keep Cam Hayward. We have to plan for the future at least a little bit. 84 is kind of crazy for Holt, but doesn't he just look like Antonio Brown out here running at like 5'9"? In that 84? I wonder if Antonio Brown's number will get retired with his off-field antics. I mean, the guy's a legitimate crazy person. So I feel like that kind of does hurt the legacy a bit. But when the quarterback just randomly lobs it, even though I'm holding it down for bullet pass, this drill gets kind of difficult. And that's Will Howard's best throw. I mean, that's his 95 throw power going to work. Just kidding. It's in the 80s. It's like 85. It's very bad. But I'd like to get the skill point upgrade for Holt here as a rookie. There it is. Can we catch it with 99 speed? We actually can. Very few receivers can actually make that catch, in my experience, doing this drill when the quarterback completely just throws it up in the air for no reason. I think maybe just letting the sack timer run out and just having... Yeah, okay. How am I supposed to catch that? We didn't even see it land. The CPU has signed Aaron Rodgers for me. We have never been more back. One last ride. Why is Aaron Rodgers back on my team? That's the backup quarterback that was just sitting in free agency. CPU's like, you gotta have a backup. What about this guy? All right. If I must, this is what the team's looking like. Jack Sawyer's not really a defensive tackle, but it's either him or Logan Lee. And in a 3-4, Jack Sawyer could play 3-4 defensive end. He's like, what, 270? 260? He's not a defensive tackle, but to get him at 3-4 end, the game is just calling it defensive tackle. I am going to put Jack Sawyer there. And we're going to get ready for Season 2. The team is still in a weird kind of limbo, in-between stage of are we competing or are we rebuilding? We're kind of doing both simultaneously, and that actually sounds a lot like what the Steelers have done in real life. But we're going to make the most of it here. Got a couple rookies starting. We have Will Howard, at quarterback. I don't know what could go wrong. This is the team for season number 2. Probably going to play Holt in the slot, and we'll develop that skill set. Our window, in a way, is closing a little bit because of the aging talent on this team, and that even includes Alex Highsmith, but particularly so with TJ Watt and Jalen Ramsey. We've got to get more talent now, and we don't have a quarterback. No disrespect to our actual starting quarterback in Will Howard, but I've said what I said. If he can take a big jump, great. I'm not exactly expecting it. So, we'll see. We are 4-3 at the midseason mark. It is our offense holding us back. The defense is great. The offense has yet to find it, which I guess can be expected because, you know, we're lacking some talent there right now. Don't really have the receivers yet. Holt has star dev, but really we don't have the quarterback. That's the big problem. Jansen has star dev, and then defensively, didn't really even bring in anybody. The fact that Eddie Jackson is starting for me at free safety in 2026 is a problem. Joey Porter Jr. has an expiring contract, as does Patrick Queen and Keanu Benton, who doesn't want to be back, Broderick Jones, Darnell Washington, Herbig. Okay, we've got a lot of players. What type of money are we looking at here? $110 million in remaining cap room. I do want Joey Porter back on a 5-year deal. He does want to be here. I'm sure the longer contract's going to make him come back, and he re-signs. Patrick Queen, I'm thinking a 2 or 3 year deal. It's a lot of money for Patrick Queen, and he just wants money. I'm going to take this down slightly. It's a lot of money for Patrick Queen, but he'll be back for 3 years. He'll be a solid starter. It's maybe a bit of an overpay, but we have the money. Keanu Benton doesn't want to be here, but what if you were here for longer? Until you're 30 years old, gets a little expensive, and he's going to want more money. But I want to bring back Keanu Benton. Broderick Jones is a no-brainer. He's developing pretty nicely. He's actually super affordable as well. Super affordable. And he returns. Don't know about the rest. I mean, Herbig is good depth, but we may look to trade Cole Holcomb at this point. I don't think he's going to have any value. If he does, the star dev's going to carry him. I mean, I can't pay Herbig $8 million per year to be a rotational player. I just can't. That's completely irresponsible. He wants to be back, but I'm actually going to have to trade him. I cannot afford to pay him that. We have Alex Highsmith. We have Jalen Ramsey. There really just isn't a spot for him on the team. But he may have some value, and we've got to get whatever value we can out of him. I will say our draft picks are looking great right now. 3, 12, and 21. We have 3 first-round picks, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. We still have a lot of our picks for 2028 and 2029 as well. We loaded up for this draft, and I may even be able to add another day 2 pick to this current collection we have. Let's see if we can move up a little bit. It's going to be Herbig and Holcomb for a 3rd round pick. I know that's not an amazing trade for us, but I just wanted to get any type of value back. Those players are not going to be back for us. So, unfortunately, it just didn't make sense to keep them around. Good as they may be, they're just good, not great. And I don't know if we're going to be a playoff team. The picks should help us towards that in year 3. But right now, we're just a little bit behind where we want to be. And we'll see if we can even sneak in at all. Maybe another 10-win year if we're lucky. 9-8. I got to fire Mike Tomlin, dude. It's the only way. Defense ends up being the number 2 defense in the league. But the offense was just not good enough. And that's because Will Howard was at quarterback. Caleb Johnson was awesome, though. Over 1,200 yards, 16 touchdowns. Is that Kelvin Beachum? It's not Caleb Johnson. It looks insane. But he is playing great. He's up into the 90s. He is legitimately fantastic at this point. Caleb Johnson is progressing so wonderfully. Putting up big numbers. Cam Holt over 1,000 yards as a rookie. Same for DK Metcalf. Both had 5 touchdowns. Patrick Queen over 100 tackles. 12 TFLs for TJ Watt. 11 for Harmon. 10 for Peyton Wilson. And a new NFL record 25 sacks for TJ Watt. 8 for Harmon. 7.5 for Highsmith. 4 picks for Joey Porter Jr. led the way. Our defense is very much not the problem. Our offense is, we need to fix that this offseason. Actually, Max Crosby had 26. There you go. Season recap. The Jags win their first Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence, Super Bowl MVP. Abdul Carter, Defensive Player of the Year. I love to see it. And the Rams had a Rookie Quarterback of the Year, or Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emmanuel Reeves. Josh Allen gets another MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Why is the approval so high on Mike Tomlin? The fans is down to 69%. Nice. But we didn't make the playoffs. It shouldn't be best it could possibly be, pretty much. This team missed the playoffs. Who can we bring back here? Keanu Benton. I will franchise tag him if I must. I'm going to increase this offer. He's going to test free agency. No, you are not. So it's a huge franchise tag, but we're keeping Keanu Benton. I'm going to not extend Troy Fautanu right now. We're going to wait. I think everybody else can walk. Even Chris Boswell, he's 36. I have a backup kicker on the team currently. Yep. And then Darnell Washington's cool, but he's going to be asking for upwards of $5 million. He's asking for $9 million a year. Can't happen. Okay. Free agency. We have $60 million. Kyle Hamilton is here. We can steal him from Baltimore. We need a safety. He's very highly sought after. Brian O'Neill is here if we want to upgrade our O-line. Jameson Williams could be interesting. We've got some options. Kyle Hamilton. I need you to be a Steeler. I'll up the money. Very expensive for a safety. But he can keep our defense at this top level. And maybe even take it up a notch if you can believe it. Caleb Johnson, superstar dev. What a monster. I thought he would end up developing, but I didn't know he would be this good. He is simply insane. But he's not the problem on offense. Quarterback is. Although Will Howard's playing up to an 80. We need a backup tight end. We need another weapon at receiver. And then defensively, I do need a safety really badly. Jalen Ramsey down to superstar dev, potentially. I think he was an X Factor. We have Peyton Wilson, so linebacker, maybe not a huge need. Alex Highsmith down to star dev from superstar. So the defense, I wouldn't say falling apart, but it's getting a little bit worse. So we got to try and bring in the reinforcements. I'm in. Imagine Justin Fields on the Steelers. We'd be an easy playoff team. Anthony Richardson is here. Will Levis. A lot of tempting options. Let's see how this goes. Kyle Hamilton and Devon Godshaw have all decided. Godshaw will be a Steeler for a year. Kyle Hamilton is a Panther. Zay Flowers to the Giants. Swing and a miss. The Panthers, really? That's crazy. Billy Woody might be giving me one. Top 5 talent at quarterback in the draft. I am a little bit concerned. USC QB. Those guys don't always work out. Like that would matter. Billy Woody. is got to be the pick. We need to find a way to bring him to the team. It could be hard. It could be a long process. But the blood is rushing to my head thinking about the possibilities. I'm getting lightheaded thinking about a top 5 quarterback. We've got to make it happen. Think our fan base would explode if we were to get Billy Woody to come to Pittsburgh. Be a match made in heaven. Shocking that Trent Richard is a top fit with the Patriots. Who could have ever guessed that about Trent here? The 5'11" receiver. Shocking. Another fit for the Patriots here. Shock. Jesse Pitts. If we could bring Kyle Pitts' brother to the Steelers, I feel like it would be unbeatable. Arthur Smith worked with Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. Now that he's in Pittsburgh, we can bring in Jesse. Could be amazing. Top 5 talent expected to go undrafted. He's going to be a nose tackle archetype, of course. This is definitely someone we want to draft. Jameel Randolph, elite strength, great speed. He's not quite the pass rusher that some of these other guys are. Like Willie Waddell. Willie Waddle. Will Waddle. I screwed up that name several times. He looks insane. That looks like another top 5 talent in the draft. He's got A, finesse moves with B, block shed, A, tackling, elite athlete. 6'2", 288. Not really a nose tackle, but that's supposedly the archetype. He looks unbelievable. We're going to get better in this draft. So this is what the mock draft looks like. Currently, they think we're going to double dip at quarterback at 4 and 5. That would be an interesting strategy, as Woody is expected to be QB3 off the board. That would be interesting. Now, we have 3 first-round picks, 3 in the top 20. We've got to be able to take advantage of this draft class. There's a lot of really good talent in here. I still could see myself trading back and trying to pick up some more value. Unfortunately, this draft class is not especially strong in the secondary. Like, there are some good corners. Safety looks really, really bad. However, at corner, a lot of these guys do have really, really good zone coverage. So, down the board, round 2, bringing in, one of these guys to play safety, not really that bad of an idea. So that's currently what I'm considering. But right now, we need to do absolutely everything we can to get a Woody. No, to get B Woody. It's B Woody, Billy Woody. That's our quarterback of the future. I will do whatever it takes. And that seems like we might not even have to do anything. The Dolphins take Cassius Westbrook. The Cardinals are not going to draft a quarterback. They go with Mike Flores. We are on the clock at number 4. We have a gaping hole at quarterback. I think Woody's going to insert perfectly. And the USC quarterback is our pick. It's Woody time. With the 4th pick, we have selected the number 5 player in the draft. Got him at number 4. Excellent deep accuracy, feels pressure, and delivers under fire. Pinpoint accurate on intermediate throws. He does have hidden dev, 94 throw power, 80 speed. Woody is coming to Pittsburgh. Excellent stuff. At number 5, back-to-back picks. We know about top 5 talents, but they're not top 50 players, so they're not appearing here. This is a perfect spot to move down and still get what we want. Some teams are offering multiple first-round picks for our top 5 selection. There are still a lot of players I like, but do I like them at number 5 overall? I wouldn't take a D-tackle here because there's insane value at D-tackle down the board. Insane value. Just doesn't make sense. I like some corners. I'd like to bring in some corners and potentially move some of those guys back to safety. But there's so many of them, it doesn't make sense to draft one with this pick. I might trade out of the entire first round completely with number 5, and we keep number 18. My biggest trade of Madden 26, it is number 5, a 3rd this year, a 3rd in 2029, a 6th next year for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Budda Baker. They are both in the final years of their contracts. The Cardinals were one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's why they're picking at number 3 overall. And they've traded 2 expiring contracts for a whole boatload of picks. We have upgraded at strong safety. We have upgraded at wide receiver 2. And now we are picking still in the first round. There's some really good offensive linemen available. We could potentially consider one of those. And I'll tell you what, Gene Shepard playing for Gene Dangus. I like the cut of his jib. He's got A, everything. Very good athlete. Gene Shepard. Show me number 1 player in the draft. I never draft a guard, and this guy wasn't really even on my radar that much. He is the number 1 player in the draft. Got him at 18. Shows advanced knowledge of the defense pressure concepts, doesn't panic in pass protection, uses strength and technique to thwart power rushes. Hidden dev, 92 strength, 71 speed, 86 acceleration. What a stud. Gene Shepard playing for Gene Dangus. We will simulate to round 2. That is the number 1 player in the draft. Got a couple of second-round picks here. Who is on my board as a favorite? Still a couple of really good defensive tackles. I gotta come out of the draft with Will Waddle. And the rest are just expected to go undrafted here. So I think I just take Waddle now and then get out of 50. I don't know who I would draft there. Or we could just take a shot here. At a power back. There is an A juke move running back. And that typically is pretty good. USC guy as well. Alright, whatever. We need a backup running back. Leonard Rankin, welcome to the team. He's a number 15 player. We got him at 48. He's got hidden dev, 92 speed, 93 acceleration. He was the teammate of our first pick in Woody. We are recreating this USC backfield. And there seems to be quite a bit of talent here. As we will come back with the 50th overall selection. I want to say this is right around where Keanu Benton went. In real life, I want to say he was like the 50th pick. I don't know why I feel that way, but it kind of feels right. We're going to take Will Waddle from South Carolina. He looks incredible. B block shot, A finesse moves, A tackle, elite speed, elite jumping, great strength. Looks just fantastic. He could be a top 5 player, truly. He's ranked number 51. Huh. He's got hidden dev, 90 strength, 79 speed, 80 acceleration. I thought he was going to be rated a little bit higher. But is a really good fit for the system. And we can come back and grab a top 5 talent at defensive tackle a little bit later in the draft. So I'm still feeling great about where we are. I thought that was going to be the steal of all steals. I really did. But it wasn't to be. Jameel Randolph will be, I suppose. But not right now. Is there anything we can add at corner? Kentrell Ward is around 1 to 2 talent. He looks really awful. I really wanted to improve at corner in this draft, and it just didn't happen. We addressed other things. I think that's fine. We are going to draft, I guess, Kentrell Ward here, just because we know about the talent overall. I don't know. I don't feel amazing about it, but let's have Evan Fullen on the board. We don't really need a guard so much. I'm gonna take the corner just because we know about him. He's a round 1 to 2 talent. He doesn't really look good, but he's a top 50 player supposedly with normal dev. Good special teamer to add to the mix. I'm not that thrilled about him as a player, but I think it made sense to draft him there. And we may lose out on the top 5 talent defensive tackle as a result, but we won't. Jameel Randolph is the pick. He doesn't look as good as the last D tackle we drafted, but he is a top 5 guy, so it's hard to go wrong there. We got the number 1 player in the draft at 18, and we just got the number 2 player in the draft at 178. He's got normal dev, 95 strength, 83 acceleration. What an interesting draft class. We did end up with the top 2 players in a weird way. And we got 3 top 5 players in total, which is very interesting. And there's still talent on the board. There still is. These linebackers, I thought, looked pretty good. So maybe we take one here. Alexander Hartley, I liked. Got A tackling, A hit power, elite speed. Alexander Hartley, ranked at 205. We got him at 210. Thought he would be rated a little bit higher, to be honest. But that's going to be our draft. Draft recap. We did pretty well here. Billy Woody is a 78 overall at quarterback, which is actually the same as what Will Howard is right now. But he's got hidden depth. He's got already very good accuracy, to be honest. It's just his awareness isn't super high. But Billy Woody's going to get really, really good really, really fast. It's almost like he popped a pill or something to become the player he is. Gene Shepard is an 82 overall. Pretty good for the number 1 overall player in the draft. We'll take that. Not amazing. Very good pass blocker right away. He's already the number 5 ranked left guard based on overall. Very good pickup. 77 overall for Rankin. Great backup. 73 for Waddle and Ward. 79 for Jameel Randolph. Hartley's a 66. And we definitely crushed the draft. We had the number 1 overall player, the number 2, well, tied with Lloyd Tate. The Bengals tight end. They love drafting tight ends. Good running back in round 2, Chase Snowden. And Luke Zimmerman, the number 1 overall pick, was a 78. But we had a really strong draft here. Cardinals did too. Lionel Larson I liked, but we just went a different way. Richard ended up being a pretty good player. A lot of corners here. Would have been nice to come away with one of those guys, but it just didn't end up working out. I'm still happy with where we were, though. Well, Jerry Bush is a rookie punter with superstar dev that went undrafted, if I must. And there was also a rookie kicker, Eric Brown. If he has superstar dev, I guess I would sign him as well. If he doesn't, I won't. I feel like it's punters typically that have it over the kickers. So we've made a little bit of a position battle at punter potentially, as we have a position battle at quarterback. I'm telling you, he may get a big increase for sitting, but Billy Woody, I think, could win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, Jesus. All right, maybe he sits for a year. What the hell was that? This is the craziest release ever. Why does it look so weird? He's just warming up, baby. This will be the team. We are starting Woody. I think that's the right move to lengthen our season. We want to get into the playoffs. We got Marvin Harrison Jr. now. Buda Baker. I didn't upgrade the secondary as much as I wanted to. They were just players that made more sense to draft. Big upgrade at left guard. I mean, he's the best player in the draft. We got 3 top 5 players. You know, it's hard for me to not take that when it's there. We are 3-4 at the midseason mark. Our defense has taken such a remarkable step back. It seems insane. Why are we so bad now? The offense has improved, but the defense is really, really not very good. I just think we need more D tackles. That's the difference here. We need more at defensive tackle. So the problem with trading for players with expiring contracts, they have expiring contracts. You need to extend them. And Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to be cheap. But I am going to try and bring him back. He wants money. We have money. And he wants to say yes, but can't fully commit right now. Well, it doesn't sound like you want to say yes then. You know what people who want to say yes say? Very good. Yes. That was a bad bit. Zach Frazier is back. Keanu Benton. He still doesn't really want to be here. We have options at D tackle. Guess what? You don't have to be here if you don't want to. Fine. I wanted Keanu Benton to be a Steeler. He doesn't want to be here. You don't have to be here. Keanu Benton and Jalen Warren are headed to the Saints. We're getting Quincy McKinstry. Ooh, superstar dev for Woody. Shepard's got superstar dev. And then defensively, we also have superstar dev with Kool-Aid McKinstry. So, big upgrade at corner. Randolph steps right in for Benton. We have Waddle as well that I think is a decent option. And that trade should make us better right now. And of course, expiring contract for Jalen Warren. We weren't going to re-sign him. We just drafted his replacement. No real reason to hold on there. But this is going to be the deadline, man. So if something's going to happen, it's got to happen now. I'd like Fa'atanu back. I'm going to have to offer him more money. But it's a reasonable price. Fa'atanu is back. Kaiir Elam, I don't particularly care about. Highsmith is down, of course, from Superstar Dev, wanting $30 million a year. Man, I'd like to give you less. He's going to sign that. It's still so much money, but it's only a 2-year deal. Buda Baker is here, and he does want to be back. He does want to be back. Take the money down a bit. Buda Baker's back for 2. I will say, our Super Bowl window is closing a bit. We need to make something happen now. And trading Devon Godshaw could be a good idea as well. If I can get a big upgrade at linebacker, I want to do it. Sawyer, I don't particularly want. We don't need Godshaw. If we can get anything back for these guys, that would be really nice, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to be that possible. Unfortunately, this is the trade. Godshaw, Dante Kent, and a second for Dion Henley and a future third. Or a current third, actually. So it's a slight trade down and a swap of Godshaw for Henley. I wanted to upgrade at linebacker. We've done that long term with Henley. So I like that move for us. He's got normal dev. You don't love that. But his overall and age are in a fairly good spot. You wish he was maybe a little bit younger than 27, but he can still be okay. And, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a controllable player that we can potentially trade. We're not paying the bonus. And this is a bit of a building year with the rookie quarterback. So we're going to be starting the rookie interior defensive lineman. We're in a good spot, even if we don't make the playoffs this year. Gave Marvin Harrison Jr. a little bit more money. And he is back as a result. Probably just going to stay where we are and everybody else. It's a lot of players. at 30 years old or more. We're running out of money a little bit. I feel like we can do better than Deshaun Elliott long term, but for a year, Elliott at least gives us a starter. I don't know about Peyton Wilson just yet. He's probably going to be asking for a little bit too much, but we're just not doing that well. I don't know what's happened, but our defense is not playing up to that same level, and we got a rookie quarterback in on offense, and that's kind of holding us back a little bit potentially. Just really haven't fully found it yet, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say no chance on the playoffs here. It's still a possibility. And we are a playoff team at 9-8. This is the Steeler experience. And I will say, what a rookie year for Billy Woody. Threw for 3 yards shy of 4,000, 39 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Caleb Johnson took a bit of a step back this year. Receiving, Cam Holt had a great season. Marvin Harrison Jr. and DK Metcalf found the end zone a bunch, but the yards really weren't there. And then defensively, TJ Watt has put up 25 sacks again. 17.5 for Highsmith. So the pressure was outstanding. Why were we not as good? We allowed too many points. Offense was better, but our defense took a step back. We'll see if we can beat the Raiders, who went 11-6 in the wild card. We'll see. 35-21. We have made it to the divisional. Buffalo with one of the best offenses in football, and their defense was really, really good this year as well. Okay. Well, is it just going to say 4 yards per carry no matter what? Because I know Johnson was a bit over 4. Like 4.1 and 4.9 are not the same. See if we can advance to the AFC Championship. Come on, Steelers. Come on, Woody. 34-17. Our season is over. Ravens win the Super Bowl 28-23 over the Rams, as the Rams quarterback Emmanuel Reeves has won an MVP. Billy Woody won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'll be curious to see if he goes up to Superstar X Factor. That's definitely a possibility. Jalen Ramsey has retired. Okay. This Steelers rebuild seems to be interesting because players just don't stop getting old and retiring on you. Holt is up to Superstar Dev. Woody is up to X Factor. DK Metcalf is like an afterthought at this point. And then defensively, Peyton Wilson's up to Superstar. We did just go out and get Kool-Aid McKinstry, so good timing on that, I guess. Waddle has just Star Dev, and Randolph did not go up. TJ Watt still playing at a high level. Wilson could be a tag and trade type of spot. I don't want to extend him. I'll pick up the 5th year on Derek Harmon. Peyton Wilson doesn't really want to be here. What about a 1-year deal worth like $15 million, or maybe even 16? Peyton Wilson's back. It's a 1-year deal. I could end up trading him. I don't want Kyer Elam back. Don't really want anybody in here. Except for Jerry Bush. We need more Jerry. Lock him up long term. He's going to test free agency. What's the franchise tag on a kicker? Or a punter? 3.6 mil? Get your ass back here, Jerry. Going into free agency, we should have a little bit of money. I would love an upgrade to our secondary. That's the biggest thing I'm looking for. Now, this draft class has, wow, some pretty exceptional defensive tackles. Jack Campbell could be a good fit. Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome. We don't need him. Don't need him at all. Terry and Arnold, we do need. If we can steal him and Jack Campbell from the Lions, that would be awesome. We need Terry and Arnold. Hopefully we're the only team that's going to heavily pursue him, but of course there's somebody else in there. Ooh, Jack Campbell wants almost $18 million per year. I'm actually not going to be doing that. But Terry and Arnold, I mean, I'll up the money. We need to get Arnold. Hopefully he makes the right choice. We should get him over Atlanta. Finally, we've won out on a star in free agency. It's Terry and Arnold. Big contract, big expectations. Hopefully we'll... Just got flashbanged. Jahmyr Gibbs to Buffalo. That's who and Jack Campbell to Buffalo? Dude, how are we going to go through the Bills in the AFC? And also Javon Bullard to the Browns. He might have been a nice signing for us. Didn't even notice him. Okay. The AFC got even harder. Jack Campbell does feel like a Bill, though. I think I predicted that the Bills would draft him in my final mock draft, maybe, of that year. But how do we improve from 9-8? Our defense needs to get back to where they've been. We got a superstar X-Factor quarterback now. Going into the draft, I honestly think our top need is probably, well, corners in play maybe, just for the future, or safety obviously. But our top need might be edge rusher to one day replace TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith. Probably Highsmith before Watt, just because of age overall and dev trait factored in. Watt's a little bit older, obviously, but higher overall, better dev trait, more productive so far. And yeah, Justin Gabriel is a 6'3", 306-pound nose tackle, supposedly, who ran a 4.8. He's got elite speed and strength. He looks amazing. He's a top 5 talent. And there's another top 5 talent at D-tackle. But only one is like a generational athlete. Doug Lippett's really great. We don't need more at D-tackle. I was joking. But if these players are going to be so good, I might just move one off the edge. I don't know what we're going to do in this draft. It's interesting in the draft. Jeremiah Sharpton, who I like, is supposed to go at number 1 overall. He's a round 1 to 2 guy. I think he's probably very, very good. And then the insane D-tackle, Justin Gabriel. I mean, could be a generational player, to be honest. He's going to be in the 80s. Is expected to go at number 2. We don't pick until when? Doug Lippett expected to go at 14. He's a top 5 talent as well. We don't pick until 25. I don't really need defensive tackle. But what I do need is the best player in the draft. Abdul Carter had 27 sacks. Max Crosby had 28. We can't trade up to 1. It's not possible. We can't do it. I don't know what we're going to do. We are on the clock at 25. What is available here? Well, there are some round 1 talents. Sharif Ramsey. So could you take him now? Well, it's a round 1 talent that's available in round 1. At linebacker, a position I am trying to develop for the future. He doesn't have the best athleticism, unfortunately. So that may be slightly disappointing. A lot of quarterbacks have fallen to the end of round 1. There's a tight end that I really like down the board, Rashard Alexander, who looks pretty insane. Not the most polished, but Tavares Flowers also looks like a pretty good option. So we're going to be able to add a tight end somewhere. And I guess we're going to take the linebacker. We know he's a round 1 talent. Hopefully he's a better athlete than what I think. But Sharif Ramsey will be the pick. Ranked number 13, got him at 25. He's got hidden dev, 85 speed, 90 acceleration. We can work with that. That really is not too bad. And we'll see if that tight end is available at our next pick. Top of the 3rd round. Hopefully he is, although it's not a deal breaker if he's not. He is, so I think we're just going to take him. Not much of a run blocker, but elite speed. Pretty good catching overall. Rashard Alexander is the selection. Top 20 player. College basketball player. Got him at 65. He's got 88 speed. 91 acceleration at 6'6", 253. Goodbye, Pat Fryermuth. Hello, Rashard Alexander. No, Fryermuth probably still starts for us. But that's a really nice pick. And I might actually double dip at tight end now. If the other one that I just saw is still available. Donovan Peoples. A lot of Peoples in here. And he doesn't appear to be available. Is there anything with value here? Not really. I'm just going to trade out of the pick. We'll get a 4th rounder next year and some other picks as well. Have the CPU handle the rest of the draft, and we'll get ready for the next season. Sharif Ramsey is a 76 overall, as is Rashard Alexander. We made the most out of our picks. Top player in the draft. 2 of them. 82 overall left guards. Devin Kilgore and Nathaniel Bass. Doug Lippett was actually higher rated than Justin Gabriel. Even though Gabriel looked just ridiculous. I guess the pass rush ability is not as developed as I thought it might be, but it's still good. I mean, he's extremely well-rounded, can do everything. Awesome player, but not the most juice draft class. We really haven't seen a lot of super insane drafts so far, based on some of the other ones I've seen in Madden 26. This will be the team for the next season. I like the way it looks. I mean, the offensive line, minimum 80 overall with Jansen. Rashard Alexander, I think, would be a freak. Darnell Washington is back. Obviously, the skill players are just great. And then defensively, we still have Peyton Wilson. I think Ramsey should play, and play a lot. But we'll see where that works. And we also have Dion Henley, who's going to be our starting Sam and probably a starting sub-linebacker. The D-line, I really like for the future. And then corner. You'd think it would be really bad after losing Jalen Ramsey, but it's really not that awful. It isn't. And then Waddle, I want to develop as a rush D tackle. Caleb Johnson needs the ball a lot. We have Rankin in relief. And then Henley, Queen, Wilson. Linebacker's really strong right now. So strong, in fact, that we will probably end up trading Peyton Wilson. And it'll probably happen at the trade deadline. And I'm hoping for more success as a team, but we just don't need Peyton Wilson with the rookie linebacker we drafted. I really need to find a way to get a superstar edge rusher for the future after Watt, after Highsmith. The best way to do that is probably drafting and developing, but that's easier said than done. I would need a really high pick, and I don't know what type of pick Peyton Wilson's going to get me. Probably not a top 5 one, I'll tell you that. 6-1 at the midseason mark. Offense, great. Defense, playing better. This is what we needed to see. We are over the hump, officially. Dude, Rashard Alexander is going to be a nightmare. He's already an 80 overall. He's 21 years old. I'm very curious to find out his depth trait. He's got 91 catching traffic already. Dude, he is insane. Oh my goodness. Ramsey's got X Factor. Get Peyton Wilson out of here. Ramsey's a starter. Ramsey's got X Factor. Peyton Wilson heading back to North Carolina. NC State guy. 2nd round pick. A 3rd and a 4th are with him. Ramsey having X Factor is a very interesting development. One that I'm very excited about. And I think this is... Pound for pound, is that my best draft pick of Madden 26? I mean, there's obviously a luck component to it, no question. But that's a pretty awesome draft pick for a guy that was supposed to go in, what, round 2 or 3? Ends up going way later. I'm franchise tagging a backup punter, by the way. Is that interesting? It's an interesting move. I don't know if I'd recommend that. After that electric start, we are still in the wild card. 11-6. Who had the best record in the AFC? Indianapolis and the Chargers both had 12 wins. Chargers secure the first round bye. And we'll see our numbers. Billy Woody really adjusting well. 3,800 yards, 34 touchdowns to 4 picks. Caleb Johnson is back at 5.5 yards per carry. Had over 1,200 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Receiving, Marvin Harrison Jr. Welcome to Pittsburgh. He and DK Metcalf had over 1,000 yards, but 10 TDs for Harrison. And then defensively, the numbers are down a little bit here, as TJ Watt didn't have 25 sacks. 17 for Highsmith, though. 12.5 for Watt. 8.5 for Henley. Really? How is he even getting those opportunities? 8.5 for Waddle. 7.5 for Harmon. Queen had 4.5. And then 4 picks for Kool-Aid McKinstry. Patrick Queen had 3. Wes Fisher got one somehow. And we are ready for the wild card against the Chiefs. Home field advantage. Let's jump in here. At least super sim it. See how we're doing. Acrisure Stadium. I miss Heinz Field, man. The big ketchup bottle. It just ain't the same as Acrisure. Like, Acrisure gonna beat the Chiefs here. 7-0 Steelers. Chiefs get 6. Is that a missed extra point? They take the lead 13-10 as we approach the half. 16-10. 22-10. And they have the ball? How is that happening? Okay. This is not where we want to be. We've got great speed at receiver, though. We can get back into this game in a hurry. Metcalf looks open, work back to it. We need the pass protection to hold up. We need it. I mean, Holt has such electric speed. If we can just get him down the field, you never know what can happen here. There's DK. No, that was Marvin Harrison Jr. lining up in that outside. 3rd and inches. Metcalf, open. Ball got there maybe a touch early. Woody has been picked in this game. Got to be careful. It's a sensitive area. Caleb Johnson in motion. Him being the play here would be very interesting. I kind of liked it. We just don't have the time to throw anything deep down the field. That was Ashton Gelati on the pressure. We have so much speed from Holt. We just need to get him going. Oh, he's gone. He's absolutely gone! Touchdown, Holt! Antonio Brown. It's not over yet. Okay, the Chiefs scored instantly. It's 29-17. That erased all of our hard work. What about more Holt down the field? Launching it deep for Holt, who makes the catch. Steve Holt. It's not his name. What is his name? Torrey Holt? What is his name? I can't remember. He hasn't been impactful enough. Woody's dealing. Throwing for Pat. Oh, it's off his shoulder pad. Killing me. That's defensive pass interference. Throw the flag. Thank you. That's disgusting from Noel Williams. Disgusting. First and 10 from the 14. Woody. Instantly soft. Fell down like it was nothing. Or like it was a big hit. I don't know. Second and 14. I need this pass blocking to get better. I mean, they're getting brutalized right now. Absolutely brutalized. Who's even on the field right now? Rashard Alexander and Hines Ward's 86. Hines Ward obviously allowed Rashard Alexander to wear that number. And we have to go. Well, we don't have to go for it here, but that is a piss-poor result. And our defense is just getting crushed right now. They keep scoring instantly. Our defense is allowing one-play touchdowns every time they touch the ball. Is it a glitch where my defense actually isn't in the game and my starting offense is playing defense? I think that is a thing. I mean, they're allowing one-play touchdowns literally every time. I don't know how we could ever hope to beat this team if that's the case. We're going deep. It's only deep shots against the Chiefs secondary, and Marvin Harrison Jr. can't make the catch. I don't know how we can beat this team when our defense is incapable of making a stop and our receivers don't catch the ball. That's an excusable drop, but I don't like it. O-line's not pass blocking. That's going to be the game. I mean, we just couldn't stop them. They scored 44 points. So many big plays. I can't even check the box score in the game. It's like, please, don't even look at it. Just move on to the next one. I feel like I got cheated. Our defense was so good the entire year. We get into the playoffs and suddenly we're absolutely incapable. And I get that it's the Chiefs. I get that. But, they had 460 yards of offense. Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns, along of 72. Pacheco had 14 for 141. We couldn't do anything. That is the Chiefs are a good team. It's okay to lose, right? But how did we come up and not even put up a fight at all? It was terrible. Dude, the Rams are crushing it. Emmanuel Reeves wins MVP again. They made it back to the Super Bowl. Dude, if Jonathan Grenard is retiring, how deep into this thing are we? That feels like an early retirement. Jonathan Grenard can't even be like 31 in 2028, surely. This next year's got to be the year. Let's make it happen. Okay, so it actually looks pretty bad. Caleb Johnson, Cam Holt, we're going to have to pick up the 5th-year option. TJ Watt will be a free agent. Freiermuth. Okay, it's not that bad. But TJ Watt's going to be asking for I was going to say 25, 30 million. He's probably going to retire after this year. TJ Watt returns, though. Caleb Johnson wants to be here. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. And he's going to be back. Okay, so we're keeping our stars. Freiermuth, honestly, I know he wants to be back. I'm going to say we probably don't need him. What's his tight end look like? So he's got star dev. I was hoping for a little bit more, as Harrison Jr. is down to superstar. Rashard Alexander, I think, is ready for the tight end 1 role. He's so good. He's just got infinitely more potential than Pat Fryermuth, and he's on the team right now. We don't have to pay him. So that just makes all the sense in the world. Buda Baker's down to star dev. I mean, we're really regressing quite a bit. I don't want to get rid of all my money. Muth is just going to have to walk. Elliott, going to have to walk probably. Yeah. We'll see what we can do in free agency. The team is so close. We just got to start winning playoff games, and that can be a challenge. We're experiencing it right now. Jordan James is up to an 86. Ashton Gelati's at an 86. Oh my goodness. There's not really going to be a lot for us here in free agency. Got a superstar kicker, Rod Clayton, in free agency, and Matthew Cage, a superstar fullback. I'm all about the specialists here. Not that a fullback is a specialist, but they're a dying breed, you know? And we're going into the NFL draft. The talent is probably better than I'm giving it credit for, but I don't love it. How good is Max Minor? He's expected to go at number 3 overall as a safety. I mean, he looks okay. Is that a player I would take in the top 5? Probably not. A lot of round 1 to 2 talents in here. Not seeing a lot of known top 5 guys. We pick at number 21, which is where we've been a lot. And we have the number 1 pick of the draft. Okay. How did I not even register that? We have the number 1 pick in the draft. The world is now our oyster. That trade we made, was that the Peyton Wilson deal? That's going to feed families. Our families. That's an incredible deal. I just completely didn't even notice that. Can't wait for this to get fixed. We do know about top 5 guys. Eric Shields is a top 5 safety. Khalid Hitchens is a top 5 wide receiver. Okay. I'm not going to take either of those guys at 1. But it would be nice to come away with both of those players. No question. We have 2 first-round picks. We can make it happen. How about this for a trade? Number 1 overall. A 2nd next year and a 4th this year. Nicky Manwari, the Seahawks' first-round pick this year and next year, and a 2nd-round pick this year. We've upgraded in a big way in the back end of our defense. The offense is about to get a big-time receiver, probably. And Buda Baker can play free safety, or I'll probably move Eamon Worry over there, even though his skill set is more of a strong safety. Here in the game, that's not necessarily true, though. He's got great cover skills. And this is not a bad cover player in real life. I feel like a lot of people think, okay, freak athlete, probably not really a great cover player, but I mean, he's got exceptional ball skills. Maybe he's not the best true, you know, he definitely is not a single eye safety. Can play in the 2-eye, I think, even though he's just a little bit better near the box. Henley's up to superstar dev, by the way, from normal. Linebacker looks awesome. Highsmith is back up to superstar. This is a really good looking defense. And we're about to add a top 5 talent at safety and probably wide receiver. We pick at number 10, and we don't necessarily have to be done yet. We could trade down again. I love it. First round pick, 2nd round pick in 2031, a 4th this year for the Giants, 1st round pick this year, next year, and a 2nd next year. Giants have moved up to 10, and kind of like a reverse Bears move, when the Bears moved up with the Giants for Justin Fields. Giants grab a tackle, Wyatt Cologne, and we will make a pick at 21. Dude, the number 1 overall player, Reggie Love, is still available. I'm not drafting him, but that is something. Khalid Hitchens is still here. Playmaking receiver out of Oregon. A, catching traffic. Good enough athlete. Elite acceleration. Top 5 talent in the class. Great route runner. He's a Steeler. Khalid Hitchens, number 3 player in the draft. Got him at 21. Got hidden dev. Good enough speed, great acceleration. And again, he's a great route runner. Oh, Reggie Love did get drafted. He went at number 1. Maybe he's a little bit of a glitch where I didn't let the board load properly. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. And then Eric Shields, safety out of Georgia, is available. Great in man coverage. Elite speed, ran 4.31 at strong safety. And I got a feeling about him. I think he's going to be a real hard-working type of guy. Real hard-nosed, tough. Bring your lunch pail to work type of guy. First guy in, last guy out. Guy you'd want your daughter to date. I know he went to Georgia, but I don't know if this guy's doing 50 over while drunk. He's the number 1 player in the draft, Eric Shields. Scouting report straight up says generational talent. Okay, Eric Shields. I feel like he could be a generational player. I like that pick. That is a good pick for us. Can't really complain there. All right. Trading 2 twos, top of the second round this year for the Bears pick. And that's pretty much going to do it for our draft. Great draft for us. And I almost don't want this rebuild to end because we're, doing so well, having so much fun in the draft. But we got to win a Super Bowl at some point. And hopefully that year is this year. Okay, CPU can draft. I hate what I'm seeing. Here we go. Draft recap. Show me like an 86 overall. 84. 80 overall on Khalid Hitchens is pretty good. 75 on Caleb Scott. Nose tackle. Let's check out the generational player. 84 is pretty good. That's already going to be like a top 10-ish strong safety. Number 11. 89 hit power. 94 speed. Very good man coverage. Why can't this guy play corner? That's what I'm wondering. Eric Shields is not a safety. Well, maybe he's going to have to play safety. We'll see. Rest of the draft. Or was it? Dude, Max Minor was an 80 overall. I was talking trash, but he's pretty good. This will be the team for, hopefully, a Super Bowl team. It looks really, really good. 91 offense and 91 defense. It's only going to get better over the course of the year. Ramsey's starting at Sam, but should be a sub linebacker for us somewhere. Got to get that X factor in the field. And I am going to start Shields over Baker because I think he's probably going to pass Baker in overall. He's a generational player. He's going to have superstar X factor development. It just needs to be done. And I'm going to have to put him in somewhere, but he's not going to be a rush end. It just doesn't make sense. But this should be a really, really good team. I'll see you at the midseason mark. We are 6-1 again. Harmon will be a free agent. Brock Jansen as well. We've got a decent amount of money. Harmon, I'd like to pay a little bit less, and he's going to be back. I think you got to try to take advantage of when these players actually want to be here. Try to pay them a little bit less. Sometimes this money can go a long way. Patrick Queen, I'm going to wait on. Highsmith, I'm going to wait on. Metcalf, I'm going to wait on. We have Jalen Milroe now. That's interesting. Buda Baker, I'm going to wait on. I don't really feel like trading any of these players because I think they can help us win a Super Bowl. But I'm also not sold on the idea that these guys are going to be long-term fixtures on the team. In contract years, it's expensive to extend them. Hitchens has only star dev. I was hoping for a bit more. And then Shields, of course, does have X Factor. I mean, the team is sick. Can we actually go out and win a Super Bowl this year? Hey, we're about to find out. Hope so. 10-7. We completely fell apart after a 6-1 start. That breaks my heart. How do we do this? Lost to the Ravens, Browns, Bears. Really just not a very good second half of the year, unfortunately. But we did make the playoffs, and sometimes that's all it takes. Let's jump in, see if we can beat the Bills. We are better, so let's do it. Come on, Steelers. Down 7-0. Down 13. Down 20. This is unbelievable. On to the next one. The playbook dependence frustrates me a lot. I mean, I just got to go Rams playbook at this point. Our playbooks actually are not simulating badly, except Super Sim's totally different for some reason. Oladejo won Defensive Player of the Year. But the Rams, man, Emmanuel Reeves is winning MVP every year. The guy's an absolute monster, supposedly. Their running game is good. And he's not throwing any interceptions. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. I mean, do I need to try Rams playbook? It seems like the move. I mean, the Rams are doing so well. Okay, who do we need to bring back? Well, obviously we'll pick up the 5th-year option on Billy Woody and Gene Shepard. Keep those boys together. Patrick Queen and Highsmith. I mean, if he's like 15 mil maybe. Because I would even like depth. Maybe 19.5. That's a lot of money for a year, but I just need Alex Highsmith. I'm not sure I can replace him just yet. Wes Fisher can walk. DK is going to walk. Budda Baker can walk. Don't need the fullback, to be honest. I'm not sure it made a tremendous difference. We have some money. We need a way to jump up and just break this curse. Dexter Lawrence for a year. I mean, he's a 98 overall. Is that the difference? Trade away one of my defensive tackles to bring in Dexter Lawrence. A 99 overall defensive lineman. Feels like it could be a big move. Dion Henley's up to X Factor as well. I know I need a big-time edge rusher. I'm willing to pay Sexy Dexy, bring him to the Berg, and make something happen. We got Donovan Ezeraku on a contract. Dexter Lawrence on a contract. Would be 2 big upgrades to our defense. Lawrence signs, Ezeraku signs. Big upgrades. We are going all out for this next season to try and win a championship. Hitchens is up to Superstar Dev and is playing up to a 90. Receiving core is great. Alexander, of course, is up to Superstar Dev. Our offense looks insane. And now defensively, Ezeraku's an upgrade over Highsmith. Dexter Lawrence is unreal. And we could trade Randolph to maybe move up in the draft, do something. I mean, at this point, to whatever can help us win a championship. Jameel Randolph was an undrafted player, or projected undrafted player, that ended up being a top 5 player in the entire draft. And let's get a backup offensive tackle for him, Jamarcus Reese. We may not be able to keep the entire offensive line together, so I think it's good to add talent like that when we can. And we're probably going to draft tight end here. Not for a starter, but we just need backups. We need depth. Corner, potentially. Corner, safety. We just need depth. Our team is insane. Let's go win a championship. Starts with the draft. We have the number 1 pick again. 1, 12, 21, and 30. I've been going crazy. And in terms of talent, it's working. On-field success is a little bit far behind. Alex Highsmith and number 12 gets me Benjamin Morrison, former standout Notre Dame corner. Is an upgrade for us overall, especially with his Superstar Dev. We have 4 really good corners now, which I know seems like overkill, but I like the depth, and I'm trying to make a huge trade for Abdul Carter. We have the #1 overall pick. If we don't fully take advantage of it, we're making a mistake. There's no player we can take at #1 who really helps us. I want Abdul Carter. The Giants really can't afford to trade him because they have recently extended him. So I'm trying to do something to take salary away from the Giants. It may be the expiring contract of Javon Holland. We just need to be able to take away some money. But the Giants pretty much can't afford to do any combination of this. So that's the big holdup right now. I'm trying to take away money. And I just don't know that we're going to be able to find the sweet spot here. Because this is 2 first-round picks. I'd even give you a 3rd next year. But the Giants, they can't afford it. I don't know what we can do here. Well, this trade has been accepted. It's the #1 overall pick for Jared Verse. That's a pretty good addition. It's an upgrade. I'm trying to go all out. We're trying to win a championship. And Jared Verse is very good. Jared Verse is a beast. And we also add an X-Factor strong safety, Ernest Peppers. I don't know that this was at the top of the list of needs, but he's under contract. He's just another really good player to add to our team and hopefully help us win a championship. Hopefully we're able to do that. We're about to find out. We're going to need a receiver at some point. Franklin Durham will be the pick out of USC. #8 player in the draft. Has 95 speed, 97 acceleration. Looks very good overall. Top 10 player. We're not going to be able to keep Cam Holt. So we've got to draft his replacement, and Franklin Durham will be that replacement. And TJ Watt has an expiring contract as well. So Ben Reed could be his replacement. He's a round 1 talent. That means top 20 player in the draft, I believe. He's number 17. He's got hidden dev. Not the fastest ever, but good strength. Good power moves. Good block shedding. Well-rounded guy. Franklin Durham's a 78. Ben Reed is a 76. Guys that can just sit on the bench and develop, hopefully. This draft had an 82 overall left guard, an 80 overall left guard. Really good quarterback. One of the best I've seen so far. 79 overall. And they got him in the 2nd round. Their first pick was Peter Dubose, who was also good. And actually, based on overall, Franklin Durham is the 5th best player that was drafted. Really tied for 4, which means there were multiple undrafted players with higher overalls. I imagine kicker and punter. I don't know that for certain, but that is my gut feeling. And we'll see if that's the case. Yep. Rookie kicker. Another rookie kicker. If you need a kicker, well, you're going to be able to find them in the draft this year. Here's what we got. This is the team, what should be a Super Bowl winning team. There are no holes. It looks insane. Peppers at sub linebacker is interesting. I'm probably going to have Ramsey play there, though. We have X factors all over the place. If this is not a Super Bowl team, I have no idea what to say. This 2030 needs to be the year. This is more like it's 7-0. Now, I don't know how we're going to finish 10-7, but it will probably happen. I'm just going straight to the playoffs. I'll see you in the wild card. How about that for a first round bye? 16-1. #1 offense, #2 defense. Very good season. Billy Woody, 4,800 yards passing, 42 touchdowns to 5 picks. Caleb Johnson was great at 13 touchdowns, over 1,200 yards. Khalid Hitchens, the standout out of Oregon, with an incredible year. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he looks insane. Very good slot receiver. Absolutely tearing it up for us. Everybody else seemed to be an afterthought, including the first-round pick, Franklin Durham. On the defensive side of the ball, I better see some crazy numbers. Nobody had 100 tackles, which is good because our defense was getting off the field quickly. 12 TFLs for Dexter Lawrence, 19 sacks for TJ Watt, 13.5 reverse, 11.5 for Lawrence. And then not all that many interceptions. You know, it's very interesting that a generational player with superstar X Factor that's a 92 overall as a 22-year-old would not have any tag. No player tags. I don't know what they would have, but something. I don't know. You'd think. But we can't get eliminated in the wild card because we're not going to be playing in the wild card. We've got the divisional first round bye taking on the Denver Broncos. Nice little rematch for us from year one. It's going to come full circle. They're 8-9 and they made the playoffs. This is ridiculous. We've got to beat this team. Also, yeah, the fact that we lost in our final regular season game of the season by a field goal is just crazy. Let's go. 7-0 Pittsburgh. Just dominate, please. 14-0 Pittsburgh. Denver on the board. We are so much better than this team. Just annihilate them, please. Don't let them get close. I'm my Chael Sonnen. I can't let you get close. 24-7. That's how often we own the Broncos. That's how often we need to be winning games. On to the AFC Championship. Because we are in the AFC Championship. The 9-8 Houston Texans at an 89 overall. We are a 94. +5 overall to the 89 overall Texans. This needs to be a win. No snow, please. I don't want anything weird. I mean, snow maybe wouldn't be the worst, actually, but doesn't look like we're dealing with any snow here. AFC Championship in Pittsburgh. It's kind of a dreary one, as that sounds like Pittsburgh, to be honest. Although PNC Park's beautiful for baseball. I got to get over to that one. 10-3 Steelers into the second half. Only a touchdown lead. We need to extend it. 17-3. Texans with a touchdown. And we need to put this one away. 2:12 on the clock. Texans, 2 timeouts remaining. Run to Caleb Johnson. It's a loss. 3rd and 5. Texans with 1 timeout. We're going to keep it on the ground. There's Caleb Johnson. And there's Caleb Johnson getting the first. That should do it. They can call their final timeout. They can stop the clock one more time. It shouldn't matter. We are moving to the Super Bowl. Finally. Only took going nearly undefeated. A 3-point loss in the final game's crazy. But this has got to be the year. Nice tackle. You're going to lose the game. I'll see you at the Super Bowl. 20-9 is your final. We improved to 17-1. No touchdowns for Billy Woody. CJ Stroud didn't play great. This is what we play for. Finally, a Super Bowl appearance. We've actually won playoff games. It took until 2030, but we've won some playoff games. We are in the Super Bowl, and our opponent is the Philadelphia Eagles. Battle for Pennsylvania. Battle for the Keystone State. It's a good opponent to draw. This is the final team. Hitchens is very casually playing up to a 99 overall, by the way, as a superstar X Factor. We don't know Durham's overall. or depth trait. Shouldn't it be revealed by Super Bowl week? Feels kind of annoying. But we'll take a look at it. It was star. Defensively, I wonder if we got any upgrades here. Not seeing any upgrades on offense. Defensively, Shields and Peppers both with X Factor. Corner looks great. Dexter Lawrence, did he go down before the Super Bowl? Dude, that's so lame. In the Super Bowl, also Reed is up to an 81 overall. Has not really even played very much this year. But this was one of our first round picks. And I mean, he's going to end up being a nice TJ Watt replacement. The fact that he's, 21 years old and already up to an 81 overall. He can get after the quarterback a little bit. And his dev trait is only star. But he could end up being a nice player for us as we get ready for Steelers, Eagles. LeGarrette Blount played for both, right? I think LeGarrette Blount was a Steeler. Why am I blanking on it? I feel like it's true. Javon Hargrave. LeGarrette Blount. Like I could have sworn he was a Steeler. He did. He played 11 games in 2014 for Pittsburgh. Okay. Super Bowl time. Woody versus Hurts. And if yours does, I'd recommend going to the doctor. Super Bowl time. This is what we play for. Yeah, Mike Vick is probably the most obvious one. Michael Vick, as I know him. Big return to start the Super Bowl. Devin Hester style. Here's Hitchens. Hitchens to the outside. All right. Well, that's not amazing. But Billy Woody will take the field. Could he win an MVP award? Well, I'd take a Super Bowl MVP. Heck, I'd even take a Super Bowl without the Super Bowl MVP. Any way we can hoist the Lombardi. And we don't start out with a touchdown. Eagles on the board first, 3-0. We answer with a touchdown to take the lead. 14-3 as we approach the half. Eagles back on the board with a touchdown. Into the third quarter, Eagles take the lead. And we are trying to answer. 3 to tie. Touchdown gives us the lead. 2nd and 13. Quick out. Woody to Harrison Jr. Woody is over 200 yards passing. Has a pair of touchdowns. He will probably win Super Bowl MVP if we can manage to win this game. That is really good coverage, but it doesn't matter. Hitchens is better. He makes the catch to move the chains. Who's 88? Martavis Bryant? Not anymore, obviously. What's that guy up to? Oh, diving catch Alexander. And that's why he's wearing Hines Ward number 86. That is a big tight end making a big play. That's going to be open. It's a good route. Holt! Cam Holt. Touchdown. Cam Holt to give us the lead. What a drive. As I think we're going to play the moments for the rest of the game here. Back on offense. Fumble recovery by Nicky Manwari for 55 yards. Into the fourth quarter, Philadelphia has turned over the ball twice. Give me a Cam Holt touchdown. Hey, I'll take that. That's a first. Tried to spin into the hole there. It didn't let me. But that's okay. I know Woody would have hit the hole. But we just have to use our Johnson. Or Caleb Johnson. Here we go. Caleb. Truck stick! Down to the 1. Oh, that's a bad spot. Caleb Johnson was in. And now we have to run against this fearsome defensive line. But not so fearsome. Caleb Johnson touchdown. We extend our lead by 11. Philly going for it on 4th down. Game on the line. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So he must be the best QB in the NFL. It's his time to prove it. What a great throw. Sharif Ramsey in on the tackle. And it's another 4th down attempt for Philadelphia. I mean, we're giving them a chance with man coverage here. And they're going to run the football. And they're not going to get it. Is that big number 97, sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence to win us a Super Bowl? Gotta love it. Touchdown here means it's game over. Chewing the clock a little bit more means that it's game over. Final play before the 2-minute warning. We'll see if Philadelphia even bothers calling a timeout here. Caleb Johnson refusing to go down. That should take us to the 2-minute warning. We only have 22 yards rushing today. I don't care. Any way you can win a Super Bowl is a good way, in my opinion. You don't need to be flashy as long as you become league champion. Fake cheat counter. Caleb Johnson. Whatever you can get here, we'll take. Up the middle. Philly calls their first timeout. We've got to keep it on the ground. We've got to burn those timeouts. And what I even want, 31-17 would be interesting. It's not even going to matter. Caleb Johnson, just go down. Sirianni with timeout number 2. Touchdown there only helps the Eagles win. I promise. I know that sounds crazy. They called their final timeout. But this is how we win. This is how I win. 1:50 to play. They have no timeouts. They want Caleb Johnson to score. We're not scoring. 3rd and goal. We can take the clock inside a minute after this play. The Eagles have no chance. Thanks for coming out. Have a safe flight. Caleb Johnson is a tank. 40 seconds on the clock. 31-17. 27 seconds to play. I don't think the CPU did a good enough job of burning the clock there. 27 seconds. Super Bowl on the line for the Eagles. They need points right now. Check down won't help you. 20 seconds. The Eagles are going to spike it. They're going to have 15 seconds to score twice. I don't think it's going to happen. So many stars on this team. Jared Verse, TJ Watt, Dexter Lawrence. Unfortunately, Jalen Ramsey didn't get to see it. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the 7th time in NFL history, are Super Bowl champions. Hurts, how did he even throw that far? Stat padding, disgusting. Enjoy your 2-point conversion, dude. Oh, dude, is this going to be a 10-point conversion to win? Doesn't look like it. 31-23 is your final. 8-point victory to win it. That's all we needed. TJ Watt is a Super Bowl champion. That's not TJ Watt, by the way, but it is true. Mike Tomlin has won it all. N'Kobe Dean can't believe it. But that's going to do it for this rebuild, guys. Billy Woody is a champion. He's come so far in a shockingly short amount of time. Might need to work on that. But it was a long ride for the entire team. And we just needed Woody to carry us all the way. That's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.